Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It is Thursday, and that means we are talking Turner syndrome. So today I actually wanted to talk about something that I feel like I've mentioned and touched on a million times, but I'm not sure how well I've actually explained it or talked about how I got to that conclusion or just all of the details of it. So what I would like to talk about today is the statistics around Turner syndrome. How they get them, how accurate they are, how reliable they are, and what they actually mean for a woman or a girl with Turner syndrome, or even the fate of a pregnancy with a girl with Turner syndrome. So I want to talk about all of that today, and I feel like it's going to be a really good topic to touch on. I don't ever see this talked about, like ever, and I see a lot of statistics all over the place, like WebMD, Mayo Clinic. They all have statistics that they put out there to help give an idea of what it looks like, what the reality of life with Turner syndrome looks like. And on one side they're helpful, on another they aren't. I know I've talked about my case being one that like totally bucks the whole statistic system and is like a conundrum in that whole picture, because what they were saying for my percentage of being able to live, for all of that, was very inaccurate. But when they made those statements about giving me that percentage for whether or not I'd be able to make it, the information they had to go off of, they were right. With the information they were given and with what they were seeing happen and what they saw on an ultrasound, yeah, the situation all staying the same, they were probably completely right that had that not changed, that's exactly the way the pregnancy would have gone. My mom would have miscarried me or had to have delivered me stillborn, and I would not have made it. But that's not what happened. And the statistics for the odds of all of the different symptoms of Turner syndrome, all of the different ways that it characterizes itself in a girl that has it, those can be just as grain of salt type things, because I know I'm saying this like till I'm blue in the face. Is my face blue right now? I feel like my face is blue right now. Every case is different. Every case is so volatile and unique and different that even though those are the common seen across the board symptoms, that does not mean every girl is going to have that. That doesn't mean every girl is going to have all of them, or a certain number of them, or they're going to look the same way. And it says nothing about their quality of life. It says nothing about their capability for a healthy life. And I feel like that's where you have to be super discerning with the statistics that are out there. Wow, that's kind of a tongue twister. And the way you read into them and how you use them, what information you try to pull from them. So what I mean by that is my mom got a ton of information right after she had her amniocentesis and I was diagnosed with Turner syndrome. They obviously had to do a ton of research on it with her. They told both of my parents all of the odds. They told them all of the different symptoms. They even showed them like worst case scenarios in a book and then said, look, she's not going to look like this. It doesn't have to be this bad. We don't know her case yet. But the information that's out there gets really scary if you don't actually know what's going on. So if they didn't know that my heart was fine and it was going to be fine till I'm at least 26 years old, the statistics say there's a very good odd that could change. And even still, I don't know how much longer my heart's going to be great. It could be great till the day I die, but statistics say there will always be an odd that I have that chance. And that's not a chance you want to ignore. But at the same time, my mom also got told or explained to her the kind of conundrum with the statistics that they have. And she actually got told by a doctor that, you know, they I think were discussing statistics, and he said, you know, the problem with these is we pull these from this group of girls that is diminished severely by different levels of circumstances. He said that the only pool of girls with Turner syndrome that we're able to research on and get information from is the girls that don't miscarry, that actually make it to a live birth, or the girls that aren't terminated after they're diagnosed. And then if they make it to a live birth, the different ages that they make it to can vary. So then you have that pool of the overall like full number of pregnancies that have a case of Turner syndrome. Well, they don't actually know how many pregnancies it occurs in, because you could just miscarry and not even know that's why they miscarried. But anyways, so the idea is you have this overall general pool of all the girls with Turner syndrome ever. So like diagnosed or not, that just the all instances of Turner syndrome, and then that pool, that number of girls gets diminished and diminished and diminished until they have this small group to pull from with a very volatile genetic disorder. And they can't say for certain with anything what's going to happen. They can say what they've seen happen. They can say the odds of the live women they have shown for what they've experienced. But that's still a small group of girls. And who knows what those cases that were terminated could have turned into. They might not have been a dire case. They may not have had all of those scary statistics and scary health complications. And that is why you have to be super up on what your own body is doing, on what your own case is. And yes, look at the statistics. You can't ignore if they're saying there's a chance for something. It's not worth ignoring it. That means it's happened. And if it means a little inconvenience to test and make sure you're fine, that's worth it. And I would always encourage you, do the tedious screenings, because you never know what you're going to find. I have kept up on it and know they've never found anything. But I'm really hoping they never do. And I still plan to make sure that the way it was the last time I had an echo is the way it will be the next time I have an echo. And I think that's just worth it, no matter how your case has been. And that's kind of the funny balance you have to find with reading the statistics and looking into the statistics. And I feel like that's a really powerful tool for girls with Turner syndrome, women with Turner syndrome, or even the parents of a girl with Turner syndrome to kind of be able to filter the information they're getting so that it's not as scary, so that you can look at it for what it is and say, okay, these are the things we need to be cautious of. There's no need to freak out yet, but these are the things we should think about. These are the things that could pop up and that we want to make sure we know if they do, and that we're doing anything we can in our power to try to make sure they don't. So taking my calcium every day, taking my hormones every day, doing what I need to take care of my body in the best way I can with the complications that Turner syndrome throws at me. And it's not easy. I've always said the most annoying part is having to take a pill every day, but you know what? I feel better when I do, and it's worth it. So I thought I would give that little spiel, might have been a little bit of a rant, on the Turner syndrome statistics that are out there. I just feel like they're so volatile themselves, and they kind of got to come with a little disclaimer. Not ignore them, but know how to read them, and especially know how to not have them scare you. Because that was the biggest thing my mom told me when she first told me that I had Turner syndrome. She said, your dad and I got a lot of scary information when we found out. And I don't want it to scare you because you are totally healthy and fine. And none of that has ever been true for you. So I don't want you to freak out. And she was very good at getting me not to. So there's that. There's just looking at them through the right filter to know what you're actually looking at and what it means for you. It means these things are possible, but you have to do the screenings to make sure and to actually know what's going on with your case, because there's so many different ways that Turner syndrome can affect you. And each girl, each woman is a unique showing of those characteristics. And I think that's a beautiful way of looking at a very scary, very painful at times genetic disorder. So this was a longer video than I planned on it being, but I feel like that might be a good thing. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this gave you some food for thought. If anybody has any questions on anything I said or any more information on it at all, I would love to hear that in the comments. I've actually kind of wondered if there was a way to assist research and play a role in it. If anybody knows anything about getting involved in research, I would love to hear that as well. And I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give it a thumbs up and share it with everybody. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel if you are not already, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!